I like whiskey. I'm not an expert, but I like all kinds of whiskey. When I was in Ireland, I visited Glendalough and I saw this whiskey for sale. I thought, this is tourist whiskey. It's whiskey probably distilled by some other company and then rebottled. And because Glendalough is a popular tourist attraction, it's a site of one of the earliest Christian settlements, if you will. St. Kevin, you can see him on the bottle here. In the 5th century, 5th or 6th century, originally he was a hermit living in the wilderness around Glendalough lakes. On the bottle here, you can see he's holding a blackbird. And the reason for that is apparently, as the legend goes, he used to walk down to the water, wade in up to his waist, and extend his arms out and pray and meditate for long periods of time. And he did that for such a long period of time, and he seemed so calm that this blackbird came and landed on his hand. It not only landed there, but apparently, at least according to legend, that it laid eggs. And St. Kevin took this as a sign, and so he held those eggs until they hatched, until they were ready to fly. That's the story. And about a year ago, I found this in a liquor store here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and I gave it a taste. I decided to pick it up, and I was really surprised that it was a legitimate whiskey. The distillery is very close to the settlement, the monastic settlement that is Glendalough. And it's in a little community called Wicklow, which is very close to Glendalough. And this is a very interesting whiskey. We're going to take a little taste of this whiskey, and I'll tell you what I think. It's not an expensive whiskey. This is the particular vintage of this, or because they make a variety of Irish whiskeys. This one is what they call their double barrel. It's aged in bourbon barrels and finished in sherry barrels. And the way they describe it is American bourbon barrel giving sweet toasted vanilla notes, and a Spanish Oloroso sherry barrel. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, adding hints of dark, dried fruit and a slight nuttiness. Well, I'm not a whiskey connoisseur. I'm just a guy like you. I like my whiskey. This smells really unique for an Irish whiskey. There is, it smells as if there is almost juniper or it's very pleasant, very smooth, and it's got a unique nose and aftertaste. I think that it makes it really something that you might want to consider taking a look at. They also have other whiskeys. Specifically, the one I'm interested in is a modern Irish whiskey where they make the traditional Putin, which is an old style of making whiskey, and it's clear. It also has a lot more alcohol in it, and I'm curious as to what that would be like. And so that's just my thoughts on Glendalough whiskey. If you've never given it a try, I recommend giving it a go.